everyone. We are here with Alejandra, who works on mindset and human design, which is such an interesting hot topic these days. I am so fascinated about that. And she is going to give us some advice and tips on money blocks, which is something that I need a lot of help with. So I can't wait to hear how you work. Take it away. Tell us about what you do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And hello, everybody. My name is Alejandra Rojas. I'm a finance professional, money coach, and money mindset expert. And if you hear my voice kind of raspy or horrible, it's because I have a terrible cold. So sorry about that. Um, but yeah, we are here to talk about money blocks, and there are so many things that we can tell about it, especially as a female entrepreneur. My focus is on females entrepreneurs, guiding them through go to make finances more natural, more fun, something that doesn't take life out of you, but instead enhance your business. So that's my
That
main
sounds good.
focus. Right.
I want
And
that.
it is like that, right? It is to me, because of my story. And I was in another podcast this week, and she really described it as my love language are numbers and finances. So to me, really is like that. It's so much fun to make money, to keep money, to multiply money. It's so much fun to know that you have like a friend in money. But when you're going through these bad situations and when you're struggling, of course you cannot see it that way. And my job as a coach and my job guiding female through this journey is to make it, more easy on them until we get to the point that, oh yeah, I know I can do that because money is gonna come on the way.
Well, I mean, if I was rolling in money, then sure, I think it would be fun. Then I'd
Right.
have fun with money.
Right. So that's the thing, right? And I was talking about this week has been amazing. I've been talking a lot, so I got everything fresh on my head. But I was talking about this like 2 days ago that one of my clients inside of the membership that I have, Ignite Your Money Mind, she is a seven figures business owner, constant seven figures, but it wasn't really making it for her. She didn't feel connected anymore. She didn't feel aligned anymore. And at the beginning of this year, she said, you know what? I'm going to start all over again. And she restarted. So that was the topic of conversation, because you may think now, because you're struggling with money, well, when I have these seven figures, everything is going to be fixable. And we are telling you, when you arrive there, there are different levels of blocks that come there. With every level of income, you are facing different blocks, you are facing different fears, and you are facing different trauma of money because of your story, right? So if
Yeah.
the end will be, well, $1 million will solve everything, believe me, billionaires wouldn't have problems, and they do.
How did you know what I just said to my husband an hour ago? If I have a
Right.
million, once I have a million, then this will all my stress will go away.
Right. So
More money,
let
more problems.
right. So let's dive into that one, because just like you, like there is so many people that they really put flowers around the $1 million, the six figures, the seven figures business.
Mhm.
And honestly, what is behind that number is what really creates that uncomfortable feeling with money, that makes you really say, okay, when I have $1 million, everything will be much easier. But can you describe what that much easier means to you? What is it that you really want to do with money? What
Mm.
is it that you are expecting it? Because here's the thing, when we are such a perfect human beings, and your brain, which leads the way when dealing with money, and your subconscious mind leads the way dealing with money. So 95% of the things that you do with money, you don't even notice it. thoughts, behaviors, reactions, everything is being led by your subconscious mind, and that's 95% of everything that you do.
Mm.
So when you have this reaction of, when I have $1 million, everything will be like fixed by magic, right? When your brain has that reaction, that's a natural survival reaction. Immediately, that's the block, right? Immediately you're telling yourself, I will never have the $1 million, because if I believe that I had that $1 million, I wouldn't say, when I arrive there, I know everything will be fixable.
Mm.
That is how powerful a understanding and becoming aware of your money blocks can be, just by catching that sentence and saying, oh wow, wait, are you telling me that by me just saying that I'm reflecting my money blocks? It is powerful, it has power, and it's going to allow you to grow with your business, to really serve your community, serve your purpose, and to become the business owner that you want to become. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have money, if your business is not giving you something in return, in a form of money, then you're not a business owner and you don't have a business. And everything that you have is a purpose that you want to get out there, is your voice, but it's not sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, it's not going to become your business.
Mm. Okay. I'm going to ask you about dealing with money blocks, but first, I want to learn how you got started doing this.
Right. So, like I said before, finances are kind of my love language. My both of my parents are accountants, and I was the type of little girl that, instead of going outside and play with the kids, I stood inside of the house stamping the invoices. I don't know if you remember, like the image of an accountant with a pile of invoices and calculators. So that was me stamping each invoice that my mom or my dad did. So it really turns out that I really like that, and all the admin things. Then I went to college, did finances, so I'm a finance professional, banking and finance, international banking and finance professional. Then I did my postgraduate diploma on business innovation, and walked the ladder of corporate. I work in corporate, finance manager. But then, kind of what everything turned around, and the reason why I love to work on money blocks and money story, it was because of my own money story and my own money blocks. So I really come from a very strong financial background where strategy is everything. Everything is fixable and figurable with an strategy, right? So that works perfect for corporations, because they don't feel, they don't have emotions, they set goals, and people that are not attached to the corporation make sure that those goals are being hit every month, every quarter, whatever it is. But
Mm.
when it comes to your own personal finances, there was something missing. So I was making, lots of money. That was the same period that I was in a huge amount of debt. I ended up having a money burned out, because I would arrive vomiting, not knowing what to do, and the imposter syndrome of somebody that was working in finances, to not being able to fix, like, what was this financial mess that I had. I had to stop and think, what is happening? It cannot be possible that the thing that I love as a professional takes health out of myself, because my health was on the line. I ended up reactivating an old sickness that I deal with, an immune system sickness that I deal with when I was 6 years old. And really, it was like, is it worth it? I mean, it has to be another way. So that was my starting point to discover what now is my signature method, the method that stands for mindset, emotion, strategy, and a synergy between them. That's how personal finances, especially for female entrepreneurs that are being led by this emotional layer with money, has to be done. It's not just about the strategy. It's not just about sorry, it's not just about the mindset, the affirmations, the wealth. Is not just about feeling the feelings. It's about all together with an intention, and just kind of really see different money, see money as the object that it is, and not that thing that defined who you are as a
Mhm.
business owner or even as a person.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. That idea of the corporations are not alive, so they didn't have like childhood traumas buried deep
Right.
in them about what money is and the fear around it. That is
Right. And
interesting.
that's the thing, right? That we quickly, when we become business owners, we quickly believe, oh, that's just a matter of a budget, right? As long as I don't spend more and I have clients coming, that's the
Mhm.
biggest distraction. As long as I have clients coming, then I should be okay. But are you? Because that money story is not yours. Are you even are you even aware of your money story? Are you even aware that you have fears around money? And I tell you, you do have clues of that awareness, because the way that you feel when you talk about money, when you are around money, when you think about money when drafting your offers, those are clues. But are you aware of really what money means in your life? Because if you're not, then all the budgets and 1,000 clients and $1 million revenue won't make it. I mean, as soon as you receive that $1 million revenue, if you have a broken relationship with money, and if you were just like me back in the day, if you had a hole that had to be filled in a different way, you're gonna swipe your card right and left. You're gonna swipe your card, you're gonna create these obligations, you're going to make logical steps to not have money again. And that's just how your brain is wired, and that's why money stories are so important.
Wow. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of work to change my relationship with money because I have been in a very kind of poverty mindset. Once I went out on my own, I never had a career that was like worth much. I was always doing like entry level jobs and hating them and quitting, never getting ahead. So I'm making like minimum wage, and I would do extreme couponing, and I'd save
Mhm.
pennies, and I'd do this hustle, 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 do the online
Right.
surveys, gather these pennies. And so to switch from being that person to being the person on the other side, like I'm going to think bigger. I'm going to grow bigger. Maybe I'll be the person who's setting up the surveys that somebody is doing.
Right.
Like I'm flopping to that other side. So I've been doing a lot of good work on that, but I can still feel it sometimes. It really feels physically like a block in my mind as I'm doing those affirmations and I'm reframing how I'm thinking about money. And there'll be that like,
Right. That voice of, you know, that this is not true, right? It's
yeah,
just like
like
it's just like going
this might not
against you.
work. This probably won't
R-
work.
right.
You're lying
Right.
to
And
yourself. And you're like, no, for manifestation, I have to believe that this is possible.
right, right. And that's the funny thing. And this is why it's called money mindset work. Because it is work. It's not like you sitting down and everything is gonna happen. It is work. And when you combine, so what I've done with the membership, the Ignite Your Money Mind membership, is beautiful because I combine financial guidance with money mindset work. So I don't really give time to your brain to give me those excuses. Like I'm like, listen. here's the evidence that we are moving forward. So let me do the mindset work. It's precisely to work with that story that is coming up. So the reason why, and you're not the only one. So everybody has this, what I call the annoying roommate on your head that is always telling you, not really. That's not gonna happen. So are you sure? Are you sure that what you're saying is true? So the way that you quiet that annoying roommate is by giving logical evidence that that is happening. So when we do work on money mindset, we have to go into your subconscious. So we have to do a lot of inner work and a lot of healing, but we also need to become aware of why is that story coming. So that is something that I do with my clients at the moment. We are doing all these intentional meditations to go from the emotion that is feeling now to when was the first time that you felt that emotion. Can you on your mind going? So of course this is all happening in a better state, so you have to be calm. Your subconscious needs to be accessible, so I can go and say, this is very connected. And you cannot imagine how many blogs we have removed just like this, because it's just an understanding of what happened back then. Just to put you an example, I had a client that she grew up just having everything that she wanted. So every week she will have a new dress. That was her reality until she was 12. At the age of 12, their parents got in a very bad situation. And for what it seems to her, from one week to the other one, everything changed. Like everything changed. And she didn't have her dresses from that moment on. Instead, everything had to go to the sisters and brothers. She was the older sister. Instead, everything had to go to the sister and brothers, take care, and she kind of had to step into the equation of taking care of the sister and brothers. So it was the same feeling of unworthiness, same feeling of when is this shoe gonna drop, because I know that everything that I have at some moment is gonna go away.
Mm.
Through these tools, through everything that I put on the membership, and through every subconscious work that we do, um she went little by little, because this is not something that happens in one sitting, but little by little we recognize that most of our sessions will end up with the same story of she feeling, this week I don't have my dresses, everything went away. And when her brain was ready, when she was ready, it allowed us to go in and see what happened. And that is when you can heal your money story. And that's when you really, that feeling that you're feeling right now disappears, because it's not something that happened or was created like a week or 2 weeks ago, or when you started your business. It was created back then when you were a subconscious mind walking, because from 0 to 7 you're a subconscious mind walking, you're just absorbing things. um so it was created there, and it's getting activated now. It is getting like you're kind of putting that trigger there, so you are feeling it. And really, when you are able to see that, when you're able to look back at it and say, how silly is that? That I believe that I didn't have enough. Like, look, everything that I have created now. And you give that evidence to your brain. That is a logical evidence that help us to shape the financial behavior that we want to see.
Mm. Okay, I want to know all the details about how this membership works. Is it something that it has a specific time where it starts, or can you like jump in any time? And like, how is it all structured?
Right. So you can jump in at any time at the membership, and you can cancel anytime as well. As soon as you arrive, you're gonna have a weekly content. So it's kind of a course, but I give it to you every week in the membership, and we start with a money challenge. So for the first 5 weeks of the membership, my only objective with this challenge is to trigger the hell out of you. Like, I want to see those stories. I'm triggering you. I'm putting you in a uncomfortable place so that your stories come to the surface, and then we can come and rewrite for abundance, really, because
This
that
is
is
a
what we
very
do.
unorthodox way of doing member retention, just so
I listen, I really, if it was something about I want to keep my clients, I swear that that's not in my mind. But what I found is this challenge used to be 5 days challenge. I got nowhere near the potential of the challenge. So I had to give a space, because when it was a 5 days challenge, I will see that the triggers from the first day will come at the end. I was like, no, this needs to have some space. So when I started doing it weekly by week, the first day was like, oh yeah, I got this. But the third or fourth day of thinking and having that same trigger on your mind, people were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. And the first week of the challenge is just think about a domino effect goal. So, like a dream of yours. Because, oh, I didn't mention this, the membership is divided in two stages. Stage number one is all about knowing who are you with money. Because if you're a female entrepreneur and if you're a female business owner, you need to know who the hell are you with money before going into business, right? And stage number two is you and your business profit. So after you know who you are with money, then we can move on to know who you are with your business money, right? So in that stage number one, the first week is all about give me that dream that doesn't, like, in your mind it's very impossible, but you still want it. You really, really want to achieve this dream, even though that you think it's impossible. And just with that one week, you cannot imagine how many stories come to the surface, because it's uncomfortable. It's like, oh yeah, I want to, I don't know, I want the house of the $1 million house, right? But I cannot make it happen because of this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like,
Mhm.
these are these are your stories. You don't have to go to find it somewhere else. You are telling me, and that is what you need with personal finances. Personal finances is about the person. It's
Mm.
about your story. It's about how you interpret different things. So that's my job. Like, tell me your story. And I know you cannot tell me physically, like, a spoken language, because your subconscious has shut down that side. So I need to
Yeah, you
trigger
kind of
it.
trick it into coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see how that works. Because if I say to myself, I want to be making $1 million, I want to be a millionaire. Um, I try to push aside that part of my brain that goes, that's ridiculous. That's unrealistic. What makes you think that you can do that? I try to ignore it so hard and push it away. So
Right.
it's hard
And
to allow it to come to the surface because it's so scary and it's so I don't want to be believing that.
right. And that's what happens, that we quickly try to shut it down. And if you want to change it, you don't need to shut it down. You need to invite it to the table and be open and say, okay, give it to me. What is it that you're, why are you thinking that we cannot make this happen? And when you ask that question, like, why are you thinking that cannot happen? Then you will see, like, your brain immediately will relate to a story in the past that you experience, your close family or friends experience, or you saw and it got ingrained. Because that's the story, right? So often when we are starting the challenge and I ask people, why do you think that's not possible? I say, well, I never had that, so I don't know that that is possible. Right. But what if I tell you that is possible? And then in day number two, in day number two, in week number two, what we do is that, okay, tell me right now where you are. For people that haven't seen their bank statements in years, This is very uncomfortable because I put you through go to everything, and now you have, oh, there you go, right? Now you have in your mind, I want this dream to happen. So your brain is already on alert. And then I put you through go to your bank statements, and that's a hard reality. Your brain is gonna be like, why? Like, I know that I cannot have it. Like, look at my bank statements. Like, this is so stupid. More stories will come out to the surface, right? It's just, it's a fun game. I cannot tell you how much
You
fun
like
I have.
torturing people. I see how it
I
is.
know, because at the end of the day, like within weeks, I can see how everybody can turn it around. It's just like, it's beautiful to see how the stories and the narrative that we have on our heads are really leading the behaviors and the way. But what if you take control of that? What if today you say, you know what, I'm just gonna make it something different. I know that my family grew up this way. I know that they had the struggles, but it ends with me. I'm writing another story. That's so beautiful, and this is why I enjoy so much going through the challenge.
So, what are the other stages after the
Right.
bringing the
So
stories out?
after 5 weeks of that triggering of the challenge, then we got into human design that I know you are very interesting about. So with human design, I love human design, by the way. When I came across human design, it was like it opened my eyes because I'm a manifestor generator. If you know something about human design, you know that MGs or manifestor generators, we do thousand teams at the same time. Like, my head is a mess in somebody else's eyes. I do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and everything around, right? Nobody gave me permission to do that before, until human design came across my lap, right? According to the quote unquote experts, you had to go on an ABC step if you want to succeed. I
Mm.
never feeded on that because I know that if I get tired of something, I just do something else and then come back to that thing that got me tired a week ago. And that's okay because I have the energy for it. So to me, human design gave me a permission slip that everybody should have if they want to take control of their over their money. So I went a step ahead and I got my education on human design, and now it's part of the membership. So on second month, second-ish month, you're gonna learn what I exactly look on human design to give that permission slip. Everybody has a unique blueprint to work with the energy of money. That is something that I'm very into it, because like everything, you have to have the energy to work with, right? So in that human design part, I will bring an expert of human design as well, so you can hear from other voices. But I also give you my ideas on when I'm doing a reading, because that's something that I used to do, readings of human design and money. When I do my reading, what things I'm looking at, so that you can identify that on yourself and you can really turn it into your superpower. So one of the things is your energy centers. If you are a a sacral being, or your sacral center is defined, I'm gonna tell you, before you sit down and do a budget, before sit down and do your financial planning of the month, I want you to go for a walk. I want you to go dance. Activate that energy on your sacral center, so when you come to the table, you have a different state on your mind. It's all about really regulating that nervous system, that survival system that is not allowing you to rewrite that story with money. So
Mm.
after the triggers, we came to say, this is how you can do it. We got with human design. On month number 2, then we got into money mindset routines. And that's about the you and money. Honestly, I just want you to know, who are you with money? And then we go into stage number 2, from month number 4, all about Pricing. Do you need a financial framework to price? Spoiler alert, yes, you need it. Please
Yes.
don't do it. Please don't do it without it. So I give you a framework to price so you don't underprice yourself, so you don't over really estimate the potential of a proper pricing. Your prices are the number one way that you as a female entrepreneur have to open the doors for abundance. Period. End of the story.
That was a
That's the only
challenging one.
way.
That's one of the big ones I'm fighting with now. Being
Right.
told, you should charge this amount and going, it's scary and hard to say that amount, so I'm charging this amount because I feel comfortable there.
Right. But you see how that makes sense, because you don't feel comfortable to charge this amount or the amount that they tell you, and that it's the feeling. I don't feel comfortable. What is that? You and money, how you interpret money, your story with money. So that's why we make sure we spend
Yeah.
time on a stage number one. Because when you get to pricing and you say and you go through the framework and you say my prices are $3,000 and that's it, then you can see, yeah, I feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, you go back to what we did in stage number one, why I'm not feeling comfortable. And you use those tools to really go. Because here's the thing, logically, financially, if your business is not getting a framework where your prices can give you profit, you won't have a business. And if your framework is telling you $3,000 is a price that can comfortably say that is going to throw profit at your business, then why you're not doing it, right? And that's when you say, well, it's because I don't feel comfortable, because I don't have the certifications, it's because of blah 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 blah, and all these things comes to the surface. But that has nothing to do with your business. It has everything to do with you and your money story. Your business is really there, like, I do whatever you say I'm gonna do, really.
This isn't me at all. I wash my hands of you. You and your
Exactly. I'm
mindset.
like, your business, like, here, we are here waiting for you to give me an answer. Like, if you tell me that is $2,000, I'm gonna go there and tell people that is $2,000. But you have to be able, and this is one of the modules in a stage two, you have to be able to back up your prices emotionally, energetically, and that makes sense for your business.
Mm,
Because if you can say, well, I feel comfortable charging $197, but your expenses and everything for your business, it doesn't make sense, really, what are we doing here?
yeah.
So it's combining those two parts.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay, so is stage three the final stage, or do we have more to go?
Right. So the final stage number three, is just get constant flow of money. When you figure everything out, when you figure who you are with money, when you figure how to deal with money of your business, then it's time to get that constant cash of money flowing all the time. And it's all about um keeping up routines. Again, like we said at the beginning of the live, every level of income comes with different blocks. It comes with different fears, only because you were not there before, and that's it. That's enough to get those blocks and those fears. So what we do is that we teach you how to create routines that take care of yourself, of that money mindset, of that progress that you have done. Because really, with the subconscious mind, you don't know when it's going to be triggered and in what way. So to prevent that, we develop routines, we develop tips and things that you can do every day that really becomes yeah, your morning routine, your daily routine, so that you can keep up with it. So it's all about constant cash of money, and from there on, it's all what we do. It's, it becomes like, oh, money is my friend, money is here, money is there, manifestation challenges or money making challenges. Or this year, like I said from this client, this year, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm gonna restart all over again. Because just imagine, like, you are climbing, you got to the top of the mountain, you enjoy the view. It's like, okay, now what? Now we need to go back and climb another one, right?
Oh gosh, that's gonna be one of my money stories. There was this book that I read as a kid. It was called Hope for the Flowers, and it was a super hippie book about caterpillars climbing up on top of each other into this huge tower, and the caterpillars at the bottom going like, everybody's doing it. It must be awesome at the top of that tower. So they're working really hard to get to the top and climbing on each other and pushing each other down. There's nothing up there. It's just a pile of caterpillars. So the whole point of the book is like, don't be ambitious and striving in corporate. Go and like follow your bliss.
Right.
I think
Oh,
that had
that's
a
a
big impact on me.
okay. That's a beautiful, yeah. And it is like that. And listen, one thing that I've learned the hard way, because of my own money burnt out and everything, it's that we just have one time, one life to enjoy. It is not that complicated. It is not. Money doesn't deserve the right to take that joy and that happiness and everything that you can do away. It has to be like any other object. It is an object that takes you somewhere, but you do need to learn about it. You do need to learn how to, just like a car, really. You need to learn how to drive that car. You need to learn the components of a car in case of it breaks down or something happens. You need to learn how to keep up your car, because if you don't, it breaks down as well. So it's a tool that will allow you to get somewhere that you want, which is the end goal, but you need to learn about it.
This membership sounds amazing. I love your framework, and I feel like so many times when I speak with money mindset coaches, and I do speak to a lot of them, that it doesn't feel practical, and it doesn't feel like, yeah, I know exactly step by step what's coming next. Which I have not actually done my human design, but whatever it is, it needs that grounded, practical, like
Oh, that's interesting.
strategy, the framework, the blueprint. Like I
Yeah.
really, that makes me feel so reassured.
Yeah. Oh, that's, oh, I'm interested now to see what human design is. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Most, like, some people don't need that step by step. Some people feel more. I definitely feel more. If you show me a step by step, I will get overwhelmed and walk away. But because I know that there are different things, and especially with money, everything is very structured week by week. There is a reason behind, week by week, and it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. If I bombard you with information, you will walk away faster. That's a survival reaction, and
Mm,
that's not what we want. Here we want to change. And right now, actually, this week I started a new certification on trauma of money that I'm very,
mm.
very excited about. So that's gonna
Oh,
be coming to the membership as well. Like, this is what I like. Again, my love language. Everything that has to do with figuring out why people do what they do with money, and how we can turn it around so we can live easier and better and happier. I'm all about that.
fantastic. All right. So, what is the link for where we can learn more about the membership and get signed up?
Absolutely. So if you go to my website, and I think I can just write it here,
Put it in the chat.
alejandrar.com/membership. I don't know if
Let's
I
see. I
go
don't think
to.
it'll go to LinkedIn. I think it will go to Facebook, but I'll put it in the show notes afterwards
Okay.
as well.
So I will just put it here. If you go to alejandraart.com slash membership, you will get the membership there. If you have any questions, reach me out on Instagram. I am happy to answer questions. I'm happy to have a talk with you. This is something that many people fear about talking about money. Please don't, especially if you are a business owner. This is a topic that has to be very comfortable for you. So if you don't have anybody around you that can talk about it, my DMs are open. Just come and talk, and we will have an amazing time.
That's great. It is hard because you want to project success. I
Correct.
know what I'm doing. I'm good. So to
Yeah,
get those
yeah,
fears and that you're not where you want to be financially is like,
right.
especially, you go through Instagram, people are like, well, I just made $500,000 in the last 3 days. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, and you know what? I have a detox from all of the platforms because of this, because I know that is not real. I know that you can say something on Instagram and on whatever platform and be dealing with different things. So I personally I love to travel. You will see me traveling a lot on my Instagram, but I always tell my people inside on my stories what is really happening. There are some days that you wake up and like, what is this? Like, I don't know how to figure out. But that's okay because every single day I take the steps that I take so I can get out of that place. And at the end of the day, if I'm doing it, if your dream is traveling like me, I long time ago I decided that I was going to explore the entire world, and I will, and I'm doing it. If that's your dream and if I'm doing it, you can do it. So if today you go to your Instagram and you see somebody saying, I just make $100,000 in the last 3 days, instead of saying, oh, well, look how far you are from it, say, well, if she did it, there must be a way that I can do it too. So now you change
well,
the narrative.
here's the worst part. I think that the money story gets more complicated as you go. And maybe that's part of like what you were saying, where you reach a level and new things
Right.
come up. But I've become so skeptical that I see those things and I think there's more to that story. It's a lie, or
Right.
you need a lot of money to get money. And that makes
Mm,
my brain go, it's not really possible. It's not really possible for any of
right.
us, which is
Right. So you're
scary.
and here's what you're doing. You're projecting your stories to other people. Because I cannot tell you if that's real or not. All that I can say from that Instagram post of whatever it is like, good for you. That's all that it's everything that I can say because I don't know what's really happening. It doesn't mean that I project my money story to the realities. And this is a common mistake that as a female entrepreneur many people do, especially with pricing. Oh no,
Mm.
they cannot afford my prices. And you just like, no, my community cannot afford it. Like, who are you to say that? What a disrespectful way to treat your clients when you say my community cannot afford my prices. Do you like really, are you living with them to say that that's a personal decision, that's a personal topic? So but what you're doing is projecting your stories. So next time when that story comes, see what you're saying that the other person is doing, and it's exactly what your money story is.
Mm. Amazing. This has been an incredible conversation, Alejandra.
Oh,
I am so glad that we did this.
it has been great. Thank you so much for having me. It has been my pleasure, really.
Are there any parting thoughts or wisdom that you would like to leave us with?
I think we have said it all here. I just again, if you want to, if you have questions, if you want to open like a conversation with me, my Instagram is Money Mindset Expert. Just go there and we can have a chat and check out the membership. It has so many good things there, and there are only more good things coming.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again. This has been a real pleasure.
Thank you, Caroline. Bye, everybody.